Welcome to the channel, Pastor 𝗵𝗵 𝗵𝗫. I am Dr. Ben, and I am going to bring you a truth today about something that you and I already possessed. But there is an uncommon truth that is not spoken of enough. So I'm going to deliver that to you today because you and I are born to be healthy. You guys are born with the same design. So regardless of race, language, or religion, or nationality, we were all born with the same function, above, down, inside out. That means our healing abilities actually don't come from outside in or down and to above. It actually comes from everything that's within us that's being expressed on the outside. So when someone says, I am healthy and I'm well, what I'm really saying is that I am healthy from the inside out, okay? And that my mind is controlling my health to allow my mind, to allow my body to function the way it is supposed to function. And I want to bring an uncommon truth to you today that is not commonly talked about, and that is about the spine. Now, the spine is such a sort of a beaten up, has been heavily bombarded with entertainment and has been reduced to something that is so not scientific, and it's been overly used in spas, overly used in different massage techniques, and it's been overly used in, honestly, a lot of chiropractors who are no longer treating things as scientific anymore and are just using it to drive customers to see them because their social media platforms are purely about entertainment. Okay, and I want to bring you back to the miracle, and I want you to see for yourself, okay, how important the spine is just because of what it did to the first ever chiropractic miracle in September 1895. Now, imagine this, okay, in Davenport, Iowa, in the Midwest of the USA, okay, there was a deaf man, okay, who was a janitor for a long time, and 17 years before that, the day that he got saved, right? That his spine was adjusted and he regained his hearing. A couple of adjustments after, across I think a period of 1 to 2 weeks, right? He was actually a janitor for so long, and he actually reported that he as in a cramped and stooped posture, he heard something give way. He was probably cleaning the floor, you know, soaking up the water, draining the sponge, whatever he was doing, and he heard something pop, and then it wasn't long after that he started losing his hearing. So he was deaf for, I think, 15, 17 years. And then when Dr. 𝗬𝗠𝗏 found him, he reasoned out, hey, I never dealt with the spine. I've only been a magnetic healer. I would just put your painful ailment, right, somewhere here, and I'll just put the magnet on top, magnet below, and I would just channel magnetic energy, and hopefully that the magnetic energy will start to kickstart a healing ability from within to heal the sprained wrist or the sprained ankle or the heart issue, whatever it was. That was the popular art of magnetic healing back then. And because he didn't know anything about the spine, he just rationalized, oh, tell me where you thought it popped. And he literally brought him to his really cranked up, you know, office with really poor technology, low state of the art, you know, and he just laid him down on his white color bench, right? The reason why I know it's white because we've actually been to the Museum of Chiropractic in Davenport, Iowa, and we actually know exactly how that bench, that the first chiropractic miracle was actually performed. We actually know how it actually looks like. So that miracle that was performed on that bench was not even a chiropractic table that you see behind me today, or patients like yourself have actually seen a state-of-the-art chiropractic table and stuff like that. It was not like that, right? But he just rationalized, oh, if a certain part of the spine, right, if Harvey Lillard could recall that his neck, a certain part of his neck gave way or sort of cracked and sort of something misaligned, and then he lost his hearing subsequently, what if I managed to find that spot and put it back in using my hand, and wouldn't that be able to restore his hearing? You see, there is an uncommon truth that Dr. 𝗬𝗠𝗏 understood that I want to bring up today, and I know it's perfectly relevant for you and I today. He understood that if I can put things back in place, healing will restore. That's the power of the healing body. The body was designed to heal from within. right? That's why he said, if I can restore things back into its original design, right? If something goes misaligned, that's no longer in accordance with design, right? Now say if it's supposed to be in this way and now this board is misaligned like this, I just got to put it back in place, and guess what? Your body registers that as per design, and healing gets restored. So he understood that uncommon truth, and because he did that, the first miracle happened, and then subsequently over the next 1 to 2 weeks, he adjusted the same area and made sure that that part was no longer tender to touch, and he allowed the healing ability to restore. And guess guys, he never had any education about the spine. Okay, and this is how chiropractic was born in September 1895. How fascinating, how fascinating. But that uncommon truth, guys, for you and I today, how it applies to our health and healthcare, is this very harsh truth that chiropractic care is important not because of the cracks, not because of the ASMR videos on YouTube, TikTok, whatever social media platform. It is important because of the scientific nature of what we do. Now, please don't hear what I'm not saying. Not every chiropractor is created equal. Not every chiropractic adjustment that you see out there in the marketplace today is created equal, because not everyone is scientific. Not everyone can explain exactly what they do. And here is where I will be very judicious in saying that if you are looking for good education as to where in your spine is misaligned and how you can achieve health, or how a certain area in your spine is actually linked to a certain ailment or a certain symptom that you might be experiencing, and that getting that part of the spine check can actually bring you back to health, you need to go to someone who is scientific enough to be able to educate you and explain. That's why I see ridiculously great educators in Singapore, where people have actually now focused on not high volume practices where people come in and just get cracked on this carousel, right? 2 or 3 minutes and you're done, sort of thing. But they actually spend time to actually educate you. And just a shameless plug here, that's what I do in my clinic. Right, we have this root cause discovery called chiropractic root cause discovery and treatment, and we actually spend a good 30 minutes to 45 minutes actually telling you exactly where your spine could be affected. And these are for people who have never gotten their spine checked. Why? Because the dominant medical system that we are part of today only focuses on 2 extremes. You either take drugs, which are obviously not expensive, okay, very easy is very easily accessible, right? Or at most you go to a pharmacist, you get a doctor's referral letter, and you get the drug. Or if it's really serious, you get surgery. Or if it's sort of in between, you got some chronic pain, guess what? They refer you to physiotherapy. Now, anything wrong with physiotherapy? Anything wrong with surgery? Anything wrong with drugs? I leave my answer as a neutral, simply because if none of that actually has been given to you as a remedy or a solution, without having your body already optimized based on design, that means that your spine, which is something that we all have but not completely utilized, if you are overly taking drugs, or you've been recommended surgery, or you've been overdoing physiotherapy, and your spine is not aligned, my friend, my dearest brother and sister, your body is not optimized enough to heal from within. Guess what? Drugs not gonna work, surgery's not gonna work, and exercise not gonna work. Why? Because our body was designed to function, to heal from within, and it so happens that our spine is an ingredient in our body, right? Or I can even go as far as to say a structural ingredient, right? That a lot of people miss out on today, simply because we're not educated in that way. Okay, so in my next couple of videos, I'm actually going to talk about a case study Right, I'm going to take you to that side of my clinic where I actually take the camera and I actually show you exactly how we diagnose certain conditions and how we actually treat the spine. Very scientific, based on biomechanics, and we use a certain system of chiropractic called the 𝗏𝗏 management system. And that actually, so I'm not trying to say the 𝗏𝗏 is the only way to chiropractic. I just want to say that as long as the chiropractor can be scientific enough to explain to you where your problem came from, and is scientific about it, okay, then he or she is probably worth investing in, getting a good, giving him your time and your assets to actually get your spine checked, because your spine is so important, guys. It is literally a way to optimize healing from within, okay? So to my fellow Singaporeans, I understand that a lot of us here have never heard about chiropractic and there's so many misconceptions. So I've actually taken the time to write an ebook, okay? It's actually more of it's like a third person point of view, because I've actually sort of put myself in Harvey Lillard's shoes, and I came out with this quote that says, "If only you knew my miracle, that could be a miracle today." So that's the title of that ebook, and I'm going to put that link in the description box down below. And if you have not gotten your spine checked and you're suffering from some kind of pain or disease, I urge you to read that book, look up the testimonies at the very bottom of that ebook, and look at how people in my clinic, their lives were changed simply because they were introduced to the power of their spine. And guess what? They already had the spine. They just were never taught to utilize it, or then they were just never taught to keep it healthy enough to achieve health. Okay, so I hope, guys, this gives you some certainty, that gives you guys some clarity, and I hope this gives you guys a starting point, which is what a lot of patients report to me in my clinic. They now know how to keep healthy just because they go, "Oh, I just need to keep my spine in check by Dr. Ben and keep my spine maintained so that it doesn't misalign again," right? So these kinds of testimonies are so powerful because people get awoken to the fact that their spine is important. So please, guys, no guilt, no condemnation, that if you never ever got your spine checked, there's always a chance. And fun fact, guys, your spine, 90% of spinal problems are not painful. 90% are not painful. So if you're sitting there going, "I'm not pain, I've got decent posture," right? It's not about that. It is about optimizing healing from within so that it can affect your body, so that disease stays far away from you, so that pain stays far away from you, simply because you've gotten a key ingredient of your health as per design in check. I hope this blesses you, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. And if you like this, guys, please comment. I want to spread the word of chiropractic. We're doing outreaches every single month, and we are passionate to reach the lost and people who really cannot afford chiropractic care. That actually has been a big burden on my heart, and you're putting the word out there for me, helping me to share this channel, share this video, will extend my reach so that I can go out into places where they are just sucked into the healthcare system of drugs and surgery, where, like I said, if it's not something that your body has already optimized health from the spine POV, those are not going to work. Okay, so people will be wrongly drugged up, people will be wrongly cut up, simply because their body is just deteriorating because they haven't had their spine checked yet. So guys, I'm going to end off with this, but please check the link down below, like, comment, subscribe, and enjoy the ebook. I'll see you in the next video. Love you guys.